Internet, hello and welcome to this very special patron review of The Last of Us, the first game, but part 2 of this review. I'm very excited to be with you here today. I'm not sure why this isn't loading into the debacle. It took just a second to connect. All apologies. I hope you guys are doing really well today. This is for patron John Goetz, and this is a very intense game. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not usually much of a gamer, but John Goetz is a good man. He's like, hey, you gotta play The Last of Us. So this is all about the first game, which came out in 2013, but this is my second review on it. So this is about 4, 5, 6 hours into gameplay. I think we did 2.5, 3 hours into gameplay in the first, but this is from a non-gamer standpoint. So this is a non-gamer review, which means I'm probably playing it a lot slower, which means I'm offering a different perspective of insight of what gameplay is. I do a show called Coy-Cast, and my producer made fun of me because I was like, The Last of Us, it's changed how games work. It's like playing a movie. And he's like, that's what games have been doing for quite some time. But I maintain this one is doing it better than most. So again, this is a review for patron John Goetz, who's like, hey, you gotta play The Last of Us. You gotta go further. You're gonna love it. Now, this game is set in my hometown. This is a game set in Boston. I'm not gonna reveal where I got stuck, but I'm very much stuck in this game, and I'm stuck in a very familiar place to me. So it's kind of funny to be trapped in a place that I know well, and now am stuck there in a digital form when I've been stuck there in real life. My boy Jesse Swift in the chat, Mandalorian and Little Marmont as Elle and Joel. Yes, that is actually what we're going to kick off this review talking about, because this is officially going forward. This has been stuck in purgatory for a very long time. Yes. This has been trapped in its own, like, gestation period. This movie's been attached to multiple directors, including Sam Raimi. It's now going to be an HBO show, which I think is much better suited for the storyline, to be very honest with you. To me, this seems like it'll be a very, very good long-form story to tell, especially with the sequel. I really think this is the way to do the story. So it's going to be from the creators of Chernobyl, Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann. They're shooting in Calgary this July. We are getting The Last of Us starting very soon. If they're filming it in July, I'd probably expect the show to start airing maybe over Christmas or in the spring. I'd say one of those two is likely for the show. And it is, of course, Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey from Game of Thrones as Elle. Very exciting stuff, and they're revealing more and more about it. They're apparently going to be lifting dialogue from the game while also basically changing the story enough so fans of the game can enjoy it while not knowing everything that's going to happen. And I prefer when they do that with comic book stuff. Like Civil War, the movie, is very different from the video game, but the heart of it is a lot like the comic book, not video game, apologies. So I would like, personally, if I'm going to keep playing this game, to have some surprises when I'm watching the show. So it's cool they're going to be able to pick little lines of dialogue, so you're going to have the familiarity, but you're also not going to know play-by-play what happens, because the video game is very much a movie. And that's the interesting thing about adapting into different mediums. I think Sonic did a really good job making a movie out of the video game where it didn't feel like rote or predictable. They had one scene in Sonic's world. I'd love to see that as the sequel. I'd love to dive into Sonic World, but that's very much the video game. Instead, they adapted the character, had the heart of Sonic, and adapted further. I think that's what we're going to do with The Last of Us, where it's going to be the soul of this, hopefully set in Boston, even though they're filming in Calgary. But you're going to get the elements of the video game without being predictable if you've played it, because it's so movie-like. It's so cinematic. It would be easy to just do a frame-by-frame recreation of the video game. So all of that being said, this video game is multi-award winning. We're talking BAFTAs. I didn't know they gave out BAFTAs for video games. It got WGA awards, the Writers Guild. This thing is prestigious. The game itself, my experience, non-gamer, is holy shit. This is everything I loved about Resident Evil, but improved. I played Resident Evil 1 through 4 back on PlayStation 1. Maybe one of them was on PS2, I'm not sure, but I was a PS1 Resident Evil guy. Scared the bejesus out of me. This is reminding me of that, but there's more, not to disrespect Resident Evil, but there's more heart, there's more empathy in the characters that you're following. It's a beautiful team dynamic. You're really invested in Joel and Elle. You're really invested in their story. You want to know more about how the collapse of the world happened. The opening of this is incredible. The pain and the pathos of how he loses everything, the cinematic elements of the world crumbling, and the way you're like navigating using cars and running and walking, all of it feels like you're controlling a film. but the story's so well written that you give way more shits in this scenario than a Resident Evil or other scenarios. So the first time I played the game, I got to the point where the world had collapsed, and I had just gotten out of the protected zone, or whatever they call it in the game. I had just gotten out of the area where everyone's kept, and I had gotten to the point where in this world is now basically fair game. There's scavengers with guns, there's, you know, obviously the zombie-like element, but everything is just pure chaos. So I ended my gameplay leaving the protected zone, and now John Goetz is like, yo, come back, play more game. This is part 2 of the review. I took some notes. Before I get to my notes, I will say that it only improved as the world expanded. They do some really clever things where they block your path in ways that make sense in canon, but make you feel like it's way more open world than it necessarily is. I love that I don't know a lot about games, so I don't know how rote or traditional it is to be like, oh, can't go right because of that thing blocking there. Going left is the way you gotta go, because to my brain, I'm like, well, that's because of the chaos of the world ending, and I can't go that way. So it leads you down a very narrow path that I can logically acknowledge. I can see the map if I pause and like take myself out of the game, but while I'm in the game, I feel like the zigs and the zags are just one open world experience, and that's really impressive. I really feel like I'm fully immersed. I really feel like I can go anywhere except for a couple doors, except for where I'm stuck. Right now, where I'm stuck feels very small and contained, and it's driving me crazy. I've been stuck there for about an hour. I always want to make sure my patrons get the review they're looking for. If I don't like a movie, I at least try to find the things they like in it. If I'm going to be reviewing a game, I want to get farther enough in the game than I might normally in a 2-hour window. Basically, the idea of the review is 2 hours as a movie or 2 hours of a show. But the show, usually I end up doing like 2.5 to 3 hours. The video game, I wanted to do 2 hours, but I didn't want to be stuck and then not give a 2-hour amount of story review. So I ended up playing this for like 3 or 4 hours. And I've been stuck in the same spot for an hour. And that is underground on the Orange Line, which is where I've been stuck as a Bostonian before. So it's very ironic, life imitating art. I'm loving the game. It's very open. The visuals are stunning. It looks like what you'd be afraid of the world turning into. I argue it's a better post-apocalypse than they did with even I Am Legend. I Am Legend has a few striking visuals, but this does that, and you get to play it. So I guess it's on par with I Am Legend. It's the same staggering, impressive level of I Am Legend, but you're playing it, so you're like, you're Will Smith, you're in it, you're experiencing it. The buildings smashed into each other. I mean, it's my city, so I'm way more affected. At one point, I saw the Capitol building that I've like been hammered by in the distance, and I was like, oh man, like it feels like home, but a horrible dystopian home. Looking up at the sky and the downtown elements is just so large and staggering and wonderful. I just love the way this game feels. I love how big it feels, and I love that you're invested in the good guys, the bad guys, the 3 leads. Your whole experience is just, the story is what really brings you into this whole world. So it's so much fun. What up, Hold My Brick? Hold My Brick just joined my Patreon. I saw him today in the message. I got to respond to his message tomorrow. Welcome to being a potato, good sir. Jacob, I appreciate you very much and welcome. So I'm very, very, very in love with this game. My overall broad thoughts are it deserves all the awards it won. It is a very, very approachable game if you're not a gamer. I've only been stuck this one time, and I'm sure I'll get out of it and then have another like hour before I'm stuck again. But I hate when games aren't approachable. Like if I'm not a gamer and I try to play something and I'm trapped in the same level, I'm gonna lose interest. This game hasn't done that to me, but it's not easy either. It's also not like I'm just pressing X. There's a lot going on. The weapon system is pretty genius. A few times I've forgotten how to switch my melee weapons. I've been good at switching my guns, but the melee is tricky. There's a variety of weapons, the bricks, the bottles, the Molotov cocktails. I got to Molotov cocktails in this gameplay session. I just got my second gun that shoots completely differently, so there's different elements there. Also the melee fighting plus the fist fighting, all that's exciting. The stealth mode is where I'm stuck, but I'm loving it. I love how important stealth is. As a Metal Gear Solid fan, I'm really digging the stealth stuff. I've talked about the story, I've talked about gameplay, I've talked about weaponry, talked about the visuals. That's the main things I look for in a game. On top of that, sound design, exceptional. The immersiveness, truly next level. I'm very, very, very involved with the fact that I feel like I'm in this world. I am playing it on easy because I am a very bad gamer. I'm playing it as easy as possible and I'm stuck, so that's saying something. I game like once a year. I'm playing this and I'm loving it, but Need for Speed Heat is my favorite game right now because I know how to race Spider-Man's my favorite game of all time because it's a character I'm involved with. Also, playing both of those on easy. I play shit easy. If I'm ever going to finish it, if I'm not going to get bored because I'm angry, it's going to be easy. So that's my overall experience. An A experience. A story, A visuals, A heart, A gameplay. Fucking enthralled. My notes. Alright, fun tactical variations between stealth versus attack with armed people. So I started this gameplay fighting with people that were shooting at me from above, so I've just left the protected area and they're trying to keep me there. So I'm dealing with hand-to-hand combat, I'm dealing with gun combat, I'm dealing with high, I'm dealing with low, I'm dealing with stealth. That first level was so intense, navigating the rubble, and it's so rad to have so much going on in like a 4D space. You know, there's so much going on in the Z-axis, the X-axis, and the Y-axis. There's depth that I'm dealing with, there's up I'm dealing with, there's side to side. I'm fully using the fucking whole world, and it's dope. I really love that first level. So the tactical variations, you can play this game so many different ways. I could have played that whole level with stealth. I could have played that whole level with shooting. I could have played that whole level with any number of things and gotten different things out of it, and I really like that in gameplay. I love the voice acting. Everyone does an incredible job. They all won awards for a reason. It's really like you're involved. It's really like I'm there, and it's really like I'm part of this journey, which is very impressive. So I'm about the fact that the voice actors don't take me out of it. A lot of games for me, there's like one or two supporting cast members that are like, what? It's like the Dark Knight, that actor that's like, no more dead cops! And you're like, the fuck? And you're like out of the movie for like 3 seconds. For me, a lot of times the voice actors, not usually the leads, but usually supporting, someone will take me out of it. None of that yet. I've not had a moment where any of the voice acting took me out of it, and the leads are incredible, well-deserved awards for the lead actors. Holy shit, the scope of the city. Once we get into the city, I wrote down vertigo. The feeling of vertigo, the feeling of like, holy shit, the feeling of the scope of the city is so impressive. I'm so in. I'm really about how much this city feels like I can wander anywhere, even though I know logically I can't. I also love that it's Boston, but it feels like Boston. It feels like walking around and looking up and just seeing so very much. All about that. I love the scope of the city. I got to the clickers. The clickers are fucking terrifying. Right before I went live, I saw John Goetz, who is the patron responsible for this view, saying, I hope he got to the clickers. I did get to the clickers. I literally wrote, the clickers are terrifying. They remind me a lot of Resident Evil. They remind me of those horrifying zombies that I've experienced before in those games of the early 2000s. But more terrifying. Obviously, the graphics are better. I love the storytelling elements of stealth around them. I love the use of shiv versus, loud things. I love they can't see even with the flashlight on, so you can actually see how scary they are. All of that really works for me. This feels more open world than it is, as I've said a couple times. Views we hope to never see. I love that we go up into the buildings and you're slanted, but you notice only in certain times. Like sometimes you're running and it feels stiff. The rain coming in diagonally and pooling, the way the water rushes, it immerses you into this world where diagonals are kind of your space, and I'm really having a good time. The visuals of, like I said, views you never want to see. I love that this feels like I Am Legend, but I'm playing it. I love that everything feels like it's possible. I love that this feels realistic in the most horrific of ways. Big fan of the slight to extreme tilt. This is awesome, is one of my notes. Water design visually and sound is so immersive and so clever at a diagonal. Sometimes you turn your head and the sound of the rain changes. Sometimes, seeing the way the water's coming down makes you feel like you're tilted in such interesting ways. All about that. Love the team dynamics. I love, except for where I'm stuck at, where I feel like that one teammate keeps alerting the clickers with her loud shit. Bad choices. Other than that, I love the team dynamic. You run up to a wall, she jumps up with a boost, she pulls you up. I love that it feels like you're part of the fucking X-Men. You're working together to solve all these problems, because that's what you have to do. Surviving like this would take a team, it would take a family, and I love the team dynamic. I also love the triangle push, pull, slide to make you feel more in control. Like if you've got to move something, you don't just press one button a bunch of times. You have to actually press it to engage with it, move it around, slide it. Like I really like that. That makes me feel like I'm solving puzzles like Myst and shit, like immersively. Scaling the outside of the building. So I've gone from all the motherfuckers trying to shoot me into the city, was blown away by the city, then I had to go up into one of these buildings. I was experiencing the tilt and the vertigo, and then scaling outside the building was even more intense. Scaling outside the building, trying to get down. I thought I was going to land at base level, but no, of course, there's more to go, and that's where I'm stuck. But scaling the outside of the building, running from zombies inside, dealing with the vertigo, dealing with the getting down itself, impressive. Oh shit, I know whereabouts this building is in relation to the Capitol building in the distance. There's a very iconic gold dome to the Capitol building in Boston that is actually is referenced in that I've added quite a bit, but you can see it off in the distance when you're scaling outside the building. So I was like, oh, I know where this building would be. That's dope as fuck. Again, Boston. There's also a bunch of T-maps in the subway. I literally have a full-size T-map that I haven't framed yet, but I'm hanging in my room because I'm a big fan of the T and the symbology and the feeling of Boston. So seeing the T-map made me very, very happy. Also love the triangle push. Oh, I said that. Fist fight. Oh, first fight with 5 of them was insane. Many restarts. So again, this is probably only like 2 hours of gameplay for most people. It took me about 4. I fought 5 of them at once. Like there were 5 of them rushing me, and I had to vary between shivs, bottles, and guns, and I had to like take one out silently, and then 4 rushed in. I had to vary all that. It took many restarts. Awesome. It was so cool to have to switch between melee weapons and stealth. It was so cool to switch between melee, stealth, and guns. Like that whole first fight with 5 of them, as soon as you get to like near the ground level, after you've scaled the outside of the building, loved that fight. It was dope, even though it took me like 17 tries. Loving this old school puzzle elements as well as the fighting elements. Approaching ground level from up, then down, approaching ground level from up, then down under was awesome. Oh yeah, Molotov cocktails. Oh wait, we're not at ground level yet. We're at subway stuffs. So this is where I almost stopped, but I was like, you know what, I'm having a fun time. So I woke up extra early this morning to play a little bit more before this review, and now I'm stuck here. So I thought we were gonna land at ground level, and now I'm literally down underground in the orange line. I love how in the world you barricade from zombies, and in the game those barricades block you from it being open world, which I think is so fucking dope. So you're literally like incapable of shifting shit around because they're barricades. So it's logical, but it's also in-game logical, which I totally dig. Big fan of that. I'm stuck in the orange line in the game right now. So, Mr. John Goetz, I see you just wrote clicker. Yes, it is a clicker, and I'm stuck in the orange line with these fucking clickers. It is so intense. It is so scary. It seems like a giant square that I'm just trapped and I'm trying to get around. I'm going to go back and read through the live chat here in a minute. Hold my brick. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I'm going to go back and read through the thing, but he just popped up at the Streamlab. Thank you, sir. But right now, it feels like it's just a square. And they're mainly centered in the middle of the square. I've ran all of the edges. I've killed them. I've not killed them. I've done stealth. I've done violence. I've gone into the gift shops. I'm stuck in the orange line, but it's funny because your boy used to drink a bit more heavily, and I've definitely been stuck on orange lines underground and just as confused, just as disoriented, just as lost, and probably looked like a zombie myself. So this feels like art imitating life, my own life, and being stuck in the orange line is not how I expected to be playing a video game ever, much less one with this reputation. I didn't know The Last of Us was set in Boston until I started playing it, so it's really fun for me to be this immersed. So, John Goetz, I fought with the clickers, I'm stuck under the fucking city I love, and now it's like a Kennedy accent, a little bit of Family Guy, and dude, this game is fucking bitchin'. Like, I'm all about this game. If you guys have any questions about my gameplay experience, get them in now. I'm gonna go to the top of the chat. John, excellent game. Also, for anyone watching this, either live or later, this month for my patrons, I am doing Clone Wars for John Goetz. I have not seen a frame of Clone Wars that isn't in a trailer. I've never seen Clone Wars, so we're going to be doing some Clone Wars watching for John Goetz. And then for AJ Lancaster, it's a 2-show month, I guess, because not only am I doing the show Clone Wars for John, I'm doing Ted Lasso for Mr. AJ Lancaster. So AJ's had me watch Ted. He challenged me to find comedy I enjoyed. I'm very picky with comedies, so he's having me watch Ted Lasso. I hope it's as good as I've heard. I've seen nothing of it. I've actually not even watched the trailer, which is, I'm going in completely blind. And then I'm watching Clone Wars for Mr. John Goetz, which I'm very excited about. And then near the end of the month, I'll be doing a watch along with Michael McCarcel again, but we're gonna plan it a little bit earlier this time because March just got away from me. I got both my vaccine shots. I bought a car. March was a mess. I'm very, very, very excited to go into April and get ahead as best I can. So, Clone Wars, Ted Lasso, I vamped enough. There should be questions in here, and I'm gonna check them out. All right, back to the top with questions. Again, just showing love from Hold My Brick. Good gentlemen, I appreciate you. Ryan Cross, can't wait to see where he is in this game. I just beat it for the second time myself. Ryan Cross, very good at video games. Coy-Jandreau, Very bad at video games. John Goetz, can't remember at what point you first run into clickers, but I hope Coy made it to that. I made it to clickers, I made it past clickers, I made it back to more clickers. Did the damn thing. I'm now dealing with clickers in the fucking underground. Motherfucking clickers. Jesse Swift in the chat. Gonna go hang with Bibbs in a few, but stoked to catch some liveness. I appreciate you. Go educate, go learn, go power up. Jesse Swift is a genius that is going to make the Schmodown his bitch this season, and I'm very excited for you guys to see more of Jesse. Michael McCarsell, woo! Almost missed the stream. Mr. Michael McCarsell and I enjoyed his first ever journey with Fast and the Furious yesterday. Michael McCarsell had never played Fast and the Furious, and now he played. I'm in video game mode. Watched Fast and the Furious, and now he has. Michael, let me know in the chat what your sleep on it thoughts were. Now that you've rested, I know you enjoyed the good cheese, but now that you've slept tonight, having seen Fast and Furious, a changed man. Let me know what your experience was. MK Songbird, hello, good evening. Heights, one of the best games. Very limited experience, very limited, but I have to agree, because even if you've only seen 10 movies, if you see a movie that really affects you, I feel like you know it's of a caliber. I know movies and comic books, I don't know video games, but I know this game won the awards, but also like the caliber of it, I think it is one of the best games, even with my limited knowledge and experience. Yo, Coy, where are you stuck? I think I landed a pretty clean description of where I'm at. Hold my brick. Jess joined the Patreon boys. He is now a potato, and he's a good man. I appreciate you very much. Oh, we're watching you play. Oh man. Oh no, we're not watching you play. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that shit. I don't have Twitch knowledge. I'm learning YouTube. I'll learn Twitch next. Also, maybe I won't have to. I'm hoping once the world reopens, I can find a studio and work with people that know much better than me. They can help me film shit. Oh my, that's unfortunate. I'm very bad at games. Very bad. Michael, thank you for defending my honor. Michael McCarsell, relatable. I always play on easy mode. I don't need a video game to punish me for wanting to play. I'm there to have fun. That's exactly, like, the world is hard. If you go out there, that shit is set on hard mode. We are all fighting against late stage capitalism. We're all fighting against a government that's trying to fucking kill us. We're all fighting, if we're watching this from America, we're all dealing with a lack of healthcare. We're all dealing with the fucking rampant racism and dealing with just shit. That's hard mode. I'm gonna play what I can control on easy mode. On easy mode, I can enjoy it and escape from fucking hard mode. So in my experience, easy mode is how I play my video games. Michael McCarsell, I appreciate you. MK Songbird, the online multiplayer they had for The Last of Us was underrated, ended up being quite fun. Oh, I didn't even know that was an option. That's fucking cool. Thank you for the information, MK Songbird. Hold my brick, living in Mississippi, we have no comic book shops. I'm going to New York with my girlfriend and her dad and brother at the end of May. What comic should I be on the lookout for? The only comics I own are X-Men vs. Avengers and Ultimate Spider-Man. Yo, now this I know. Okay, one, Midtown Comics is dope in New York. I really like that chain. I'm not usually big on chains. I like mom and pop shops. I don't know a lot of mom and pop New York stores because when I go, I'm usually working, so I just grab Midtown. Midtown's dope. Mr. Miracle, good sir. The trade of Mr. Miracle, I highly recommend. I would also recommend you check out, what else is a must grab? If you haven't read Saga yet, I'm sure you've heard me talk about it ad nauseum, but keep an eye out for any Saga trades. Try to grab one, trade one so you can know what's going on. Mr. Miracle's only 12 issues. That should be doable. Try to think of stuff that's contained. Ultimate Spider-Man is a great place to start with comic books. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is exceptional. It is a short run from Tom Taylor. Spider-Man Life Story from Chip Zdarsky. If you're a Spider-Man fan, Life Story is only 5 issues, and Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is only like 18. Those are probably both collected. Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil is also exceptional. And the last recommendation I'd give is one of the first 3 or 4 volumes of Tom King's Batman. I'd pick up some of the early stuff. Those are my favorites, and they're also more approachable. So, Tom King Batman, Chip Zdarsky Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky Spider-Man Life Story, Tom Taylor Spider-Man Friendly Neighborhood, Tom King and Mitch Gerads on Mr. Miracle, and anything Saga. Those are my 6 recommendations. I'm sure you can find one of those off the top of my head. Those are what I think you will enjoy if you're in New York and can find any of those. And thank you for being a patron. I hope that helps, man. Let's see. It's going to suck after clickers, much worse. I'm going to be hour per level very soon. I'm going to be hour crawling level to level very soon. It's going to be real bad. And if those clickers had Boston accents, if they're like click, click, I would enjoy that very much. I'm going to warn you, beware of one word moving forward, but I don't want to spoil anything for you. Don't spoil. I'm playing the game. Thank you for not spoiling, Ryan Cross. One of my favorite games of all time, I think the first game I played after studying for taking the bar, a very good reward. That's cool as fuck, man. Did you beat the bar? Did you win the bar? What's it called? Did you pass? Did you beat the bar? Did you pass the bar, Ian Roth? Ian Roth's an old school koi pond member. I don't know if he's a lawyer. That'd be dope. I hope you beat the bar. Will you do the sequel? If I beat the first one, perhaps. As you can tell, we did part 1 of this, I think, back in April or May. I'm a very slow gamer, and there's a lot of other stuff going on, but if I beat this game, I love it, so I will play the sequel down the line. But yeah, I have nothing against this game, so by all means, if I somehow beat it, I'll get the next one. Also, really good in my opinion, but divisive. I've heard that, and I don't know why it's divisive, and I'm enjoying the fact that I never heard what the twist was or what problem was. I'm assuming it's something about the girl being stronger than the guy, because usually people have a problem with strong women. So I've seen that she looks like strong, so I'm guessing Joel dies and she has to lead, or Joel like makes her the leader. Men that are insecure don't like strong women, and usually men that are insecure bitch on the internet. So I assume the people bitching are the ones that be insecure about a strong woman, and since there's a female in the story, I assume that's what's divisive, but I don't know. Let's see. Tip: bricks and bottles are amazing for them. Disorient them nicely to chuck one at their head as you run from them. Thank you. I still don't know where I'm physically going, but that'll give me more time to look. So thank you, Mr. Goetz. Goetz, are you getting him to watch a specific set of episodes? It's the Tartakovsky Clone Wars, so I think he can do the first volume. So yeah, I love the name I can't pronounce because I'm a big Samurai Jack guy, so that's what I'm going to be watching for April for Mr. John Goetz. We're going to talk about like what episode, as we always do. I don't know yet, but he knows, and maybe we'll get to that in the live chat before I wrap this up. Did you jump in fear of the clickers? I did. I did a little Twitch squirm, so I will admit, I play this at night as much as I can. That's why, like, playing it this morning, I was just thinking I could beat the level I was stuck on. But I played 4 hours through yesterday under the cover of darkness, and I definitely got, like, twitchy jumpy, and it was fucking great. Let's see. Oh, he did Dexter's Lab, not Samurai Jack. Oh, did Dexter's Lab Samurai Jack. Okay, I'm not crazy. I thought that art style was very much his. Okay, let's see. It's Tartakovsky, the same guy that did Dune. Wait, no, yeah, Dune's a different guy with a similar name. Wait, how far did you get? Did we not finish it yet? No, we did not finish it yet. I'm just trucking along. This is just part 2 of, I'm sure, many parts if I keep going. He did Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack, second Clone Wars series. Fast and Furious would be an amazing game. Yes, it would. It would be everything, like more goodish guy version of GTA. If you like Fast and the Furious, Need for Speed's close, and like and Super Street on PS2. Super Street was awesome. No, is that the name of it? Midnight Club. Midnight Club on PS2 was awesome, and Super Street was the magazine. Midnight Club was an awesome Fast and the Furious-esque game that I would recommend. But yeah, I would love a goodish guy GTA as a Fast and the Furious game. Michael McCarcel, it was good. As fun as I expected it would be. Some of the performance can be nitpicked, but I don't need to. I like that you enjoyed it. Hell yeah, that makes me very happy. Glad you were there for that. I'm glad, like, mentally you were there for that. Like, I love people that can appreciate like a highbrow piece of cinema, but also like the fun of Fast and the Furious, and some people can't, so I'm glad you were there to have the movie be what you wanted it to be and experience it, because it means so much to me. That's like a make or break in relationships. Like if I'm dating a girl and she doesn't like Fast and Furious, I'm not saying I'll break up with her, but I'll be aware that we might disagree on a lot of pop culture. Like we might have a problem with like what we want to throw on at the end of a long day that's super important in a relationship. So again, I'm not like, yo, get out, but I'm also like, shit, this might be an issue. I fucking love Fast and the Furious. Jodorowsky is the name that's similar. Oh, Coy should Twitch these games, especially some Spider-Man twitching. A lot of people wanted me to with that first Spider-Man PS4 game, but I don't know how. But maybe by the time I play Miles, I'll learn some shit. Or maybe I'll have a job where I'm in a studio and they can help me. I hope the latter happens. Ooh, I thought we were having him watch an arc or 2 of the main Clone Wars series. Gotcha. Coy, if you ever want to laugh, check out Conan O'Brien Clueless Gamer videos. Dude is terrible at games, but it's amazing to watch. I've actually seen, he did one with Conor McGregor where he did UFC with Conor, and it's genius. I will absolutely have to check out more because I'm a big Conan fan, and that sounds like my cup of tea. I didn't know there were more than just the Conor one, so I will check out part of that series. Michael, forget that. Just buy the entire Saga Compendium. If you can, you should. Absolutely. Buy all of it. It's not free, but it is worth it. Let's see. You're welcome. Hold my brick. Did I beat the bar? Make this a shirt. Did you beat the bar? Like every lawyer's wearing an I beat the bar shirt. And Ian Roth passed. One and done. One of the Koi Pond is a lawyer. If any of you in the Koi Pond do anything illegal, Ian Roth, attorney at law, hit him up. He'll help you out. Ian, I enjoy a mushroom now and again. And one day I'll be in the wrong state to say that, and I'll need your help. And I know that you passed the bar and won, so I'm going to need your lawyering. All right. But yes, I beat the bar. It sounds like way more fun. We got ourselves a slogan. It's divisive because of story elements. There's representation that's bad for people. Yes, people that have been represented their whole lives tend to be upset when other people are because they're little weenies. I will never understand people not wanting people to be represented, but I was raised right. We got ourselves a slogan. It's very funny to me. Did you beat the gift horse in the mouth? Fucking punch right in the mouth. Ian beat the bar in the mouth. That also sounds like some representation. Oh, I forgot about Midnight Club. That was a sweet series. I agree. Actually, just looked at the link. The Clone Wars and the whole series is just over 2 hours. They're like a few minutes short, but many are a continuing story. Also be warned, it's lots of action. He plays Mortal Kombat with Gronk and Marshawn before the Super Bowl against each other, and it's fucking amazing. Dude, that sounds awesome. Hold My Brick might kill a few people as an EMT. By the way, Ian Roth, lawyer. Hold My Brick, EMT. Koi Pond, full of fucking heroes. You guys like hearing me talk about heroes? You're the motherfucking heroes. I'm proud of both of you. You guys are fucking helping people, and that makes me very happy. Koi, if you're interested, I can help you set up your PlayStation for streaming on Twitch or YouTube. One day, Ryan, I would love that. I actually can't talk about any of the stuff I'm doing right now as far as meetings and stuff, but this was my March review, and we had to go to April 1st because I was so busy in March. I'm hoping that by June I will be caught up, but April and May are likely going to be slammed because I'm like playing catch up. I've got a bunch of really cool stuff that's really close to happening, but if I do get to the point where I have the time to game for fun, I will absolutely hit you up for the information on how to do that, and I appreciate the offer, Mr. Ryan Cross, or Travis at the Ryan Cross Project. Sometimes it throws me, I apologize. Do you have qualified immunity for that? He might. He might. Okay. Folks, this has been a 31-minute review, 25-minute review, and 6 minutes of enjoying your guys' company. You guys are the co-host of my shows. I enjoy your questions. I enjoy your experience. I enjoy that Michael McCarsell enjoyed Fast and the Furious. I enjoy that Mr. John Goetz is giving me the Clone Wars to watch, and it's just over 2 hours, which is perfect. Let me know. There's multiple Clone Wars, I think. Make sure I watch the right one. Like, give me the full title or whatever before I dive in. I'm going to be doing that probably the 2nd or 3rd week of April, so we got like a week or two. We'll discuss on the Patreon. And Hold My Brick, newest patron. Everyone, you are spectacular. I appreciate all of the Koi Pond. Hope you enjoyed this review for The Last of Us. If you're not in the Koi Pond, you're probably like, who is this guy and what has he been talking about and why is he referencing himself in third person? I apologize. It is our group of the internet that doesn't suck, and I appreciate everyone in it. So thank you, my dear YouTube watchers. Thank you, my dear patrons. Thank you, Mr. John Goetz. This game is absolutely bitchin'. I got to the clickers. I got stuck on the orange line. Life imitated art. I love this fucking game. From the highs of the tallest building slanted to the lows of being underground, the world it built is amazing, and everything from the story to the fight fucking tech is genius. It won all the awards for a reason. I fucking love this game. So, solid A for me. My rating is an A. I rate it as highly as everyone else did. Had a great fucking time playing it. I will see you all next week for Koi Cubed on Tuesday. I will see you all hopefully by Thursday for Ted Lasso, and then the following Thursday with some Clone War goodness. As always, every week, KoiCast drops on Wednesday. Patron-only pod drops on Tuesday, where me and Jake review everything we watched that month. And if you guys want to see what else is on Patreon, including ratings for all the comics I read, ratings for all the movies I watch, all that, do check it out. I appreciate all of you. Remy's Art joining in right as I wrap this up, another OG Koi Pond fave. Thank you all very much. Ian, go defend some awesome people. Hold My Brick, go save some lives as an EMT, or start to, and I will see you all very, very soon. Stay safe, stay sane, stay sweaty, and let's get out of this quarantine so I can all meet up at a con one day. I would like to meet all of you lovelies. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.